This is Morten from INKISH, very first interview here at CPrint in Lyon. And it was actually a great surprise and a good pleasure because we just met at CPrint's booth and I just met Ludovic. And great to see you.
Great to see you. Yeah. I'm really happy.
And you know, it's funny because as we just mentioned before, we have not met before, but we have kind of become connected. I don't think we have been talking to each other, but I think we know each other, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You're correct.
Yeah. And you have become kind of the world champion in Web to Print, right?
I won't say that, but I tried. Yes. I love writing, so for a long time I tried to publish about first Web to Print software and after online printing industry, share news, and also sometimes help startups or printers that were wondering about how to move online. I don't know how to make it or which software to choose. And it really exploded during the pandemic because everyone was working from home, trying to find new ideas and also looking to e-commerce. And so, yes, I got a lot of feedback from many regions. And what's really cool today is after this time of virtual meetings is to meet in person,
right?
In this kind of events. That's great.
Yeah, I was just wondering because I was just thinking that because being a specialist in like a certain area like Web to Print and e-commerce, I was just thinking that you have to, of course, talk to a lot of the developers. You have to understand the market and where things are going. Sometimes would you say that you are a little bit ahead of where the industry is moving?
Yeah, I try to feel the market because I think it's the most complex, and it was something that frustrated me when I was working into one company. Is often you are missing this vision of where the market is going, and as a marketeer, often it's where trouble is beginning because you are focused on project, on growing your business. And what's really interesting by having a lot of feedbacks from many companies on the market is to feel where the market is moving. Today we see that in online printing in Europe things are changing with new models. The former online printing models are changing, and that's really interesting.
And also the fact that if you look at the hardware side of production, it now, we all look for production of one, right?
Yeah.
Now it's actually possible. So now it opens up even more opportunities when you look at where the market is going. You said that you always have an eye for where the market's moving. Where is the market moving?
I think that today I will have a conference this morning about it, but the main trend is that the producers are moving online. And after years where there were just subcontractors and say, okay, I don't take care about selling the work of pure players, they took this internally, and I see companies, I work with one which is in the label industry, Adesa, with a great success. And so it's a 60 years old printing company, printing house, and they decided to launch their brand, to launch their online store, focus on one product, labels. And I found this really interesting because producers are taking back the power. And you see that in packaging, in wide format, and everywhere in the world. And that's really great because it's a change in this market. And it's a bit like what you see on supermarkets. After years of huge supermarkets in the retailing industry, now you see short circuits with producers that are selling their fruits and so directly to the customer, and customers are looking for that. And that, I think, it's the main trend at the moment.
I know your business, so just a few more questions. One of the things I would like to ask you, if you look at as I said, you have become a big influencer in the Web to Print space. Obviously, being from France, you have a lot of knowledge about the French industry. Would you say that also Web to Print is an opportunity for French printing companies to export out of France?
Yeah, it's still complex because we are surrounded by really competitive countries like Italy, Germany, Spain, Netherlands. But with this change of model where producers are selling directly their products, you have better margins, you have less intermediate margins, and we see some of them that are expanding to Spain, expanding to Belgium, often on some products, and I think it's an opportunity. But To be clear, it's still complex because of high salary costs, higher than other in Europe. I won't talk about strikes, not today. No, don't talk about strikes. No. But I think they become more competitive. And also what's happening, and that's really interesting, is that for years we talked about, printing houses in France were small, less than 10 million euros. That was the average. And compared to German one, for example, that are bigger and have more muscle. Today, since 2 years or 3 years, there's a M&A trend that's happening on the French market, where you see groups appearing, weighting more than 100 million euros. And then they are able to purchase web-to-print players, to mix them with industrial fields.
And more power also on the marketing side, of course.
Exactly.
Right? Last question. What is it a French printing company can offer in a European scene that is, let's say, a little bit unique or that makes it interesting to buy?
I would say again in the label industry. So you have a very nice booth of my friends of Adesa.
So we should go and see that?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great example of a French company and French group that is moving externally from France. So it's a Labellis group. And so it's a group that is made only of labels and stickers printers. And they are expanding in Europe. They launched their web-to-print site in Spain 2 months before. And that's a great example of what we can achieve today in France in the printing industry and a kind of new revolution.
Fantastic. I know you're busy.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it was really fun and really happy to meet you in person.
Me too.
Thank you.